So before we get started with information, I just want to, just a brief, this is not medical advice. AO scan is not a medical device. It's not a diagnostic device. We are here helping each other to monitor and help our own health and help each other. We're not medical professionals. We're working on a peer-to-peer basis, just finding ways to help each other with health. So I am going to share my screen. We're going to do a brief overview. I'm not going to, this is a, what is the AO scan? So I'm going to make this from beginning. That should go, there we go. All right. So the AO scan mobile is like having a wellness center in the palm of your hand. I, in the last year and a half of using it, have just found it irreplaceable for if there's something, a question of what's going on in the body. It's great to have something that you can turn to and monitor and send frequencies to improve. The other night, my husband came home with horrible kidney pain, and we have done kidney cleanses in the past. He has an issue where he was going to the bathroom every hour, but because of kidney cleanses, we've got him, so he's only going a couple times in a night. But the pain came back, so we did a scan and we saw that there was something going on in his kidneys. And we were able to send him frequencies for flow and lymph flow and kidney things, and he felt better in 10 minutes. So it is something that we can help each other with if we are aware of it. So just a little bit of background. This picture up here is Lauren, probably 30 years ago. This was the size of the AO scanner when it first started. I did get a scan about 12 years ago now from a machine, like the whole room was filled with apparatuses that were the AO scan. So when they were doing a software update, they were told that the software that it was written on was too archaic and they couldn't update it. They told them they needed to move to a Google platform, to a Android platform, I think was the wording. But he said, if I do that, can I put it on an app? So they worked on that and they were able to put it on a device that can be on either a phone or a tablet. And it's the same accuracy as this $38,000 machine was. Back when you had to pay $38,000 for the equipment, it was also $300 a month for the subscription. So they brought that subscription down to where I feel it's more affordable, $150 a month, and we can scan as much as we want for ourselves, for our family, for our pets. And you can put anything in there and do as many scans as you want. Some days I'm scanning all day long. So in 1980 is when Lauren found this technology. Other companies do have similar technology. It's all run off the same database. There's over 120,000 frequencies that have been cataloged, and they represent optimal health. And if you're out of balance on any of those frequencies, we can see the difference. So that is what the scanner is using to find that. So how do frequencies balance? A tuning fork, if you set one tuning fork off, the other tuning fork will start to harmonize in that same pitch. And if you send an opposite frequency, it will balance something. So if you have a sine wave that is really high, you send the opposite one, you'll get a more even one. So that's what we want, is we want our bodies to be balanced and our frequencies to be harmonized. Years ago, I used to study Tesla, and he had a lot of health things that he did, health frequencies. He was famous for not seeing a doctor. There was one story I remember from a child reading about Tesla and Einstein were friends, and Einstein had a constipation problem, and he went to see Tesla, and Tesla said, go stand over there on my frequency machine. And he was there for less than a minute, and he had to go to the bathroom and spend some time there. So his constipation was relieved. So Einstein talks about spooky action at a distance. We are using the quantum field, scalar waves, and also Rife technology in the AO scan. Those are the technologies. So this is Royal Rife. You might have heard of Rife machines where frequencies can be sent for certain bacteria, viruses, and to help to get rid of those. There are Rife frequencies in the AO scan as well. So it's another part of the technology. And here is Einstein, where he says everything is energy and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want. You can't help but get that reality. There's no other way. It's not philosophy, it's physics. So when we're sending frequency, we're not sending something and wishing it. Some people do call it electronic prayer, but we can target that to what we have going on. So everything is energy. Every cell and organ in the body has their own distinctive vibration. And when these frequencies are disrupted, the disruption is so profound. We carry the scars for life, whether those be emotional or physical. So when these are not addressed, it can bring about fatigue, depression, illness, disease, and even death. Over the past 20 years, these vibrational frequencies have been isolated, identified, and cataloged. And then, the question, what if there was a way you could identify the optimal frequencies for your tissues, organs in your body? And there is. So I don't want to spend too much time on, but as you can see, there's much above the surface that we can see. We can see our symptoms and the things that are bothering us, but we can't see what's underneath. So we're kind of getting to that underneath the belly of the beast when we dig to find the root cause of the problem. And that's what I love most about the AO scan. So this kind of is going over the same thing. The 120,000 frequencies, it's a biofeedback device. It's an educational tool, which is really important. We never claim and never say this is a diagnostic tool. It's not. We're just educating ourselves, restoring balance in the body, mind, and spirit. And it's an affordable handheld device that can scan, optimize, and harmonize your entire body however many times a day you want. So the inner voice works off 10 seconds of your voice, and it analyzes over 8,000 frequencies. This is an old slide. They've improved that to where it's over 12,000 frequencies, and the octaves are more than 12 notes. I can't remember exactly how much, but they did just do an upgrade 3 months ago. So it identifies emotional balances, and then you use harmonizing music to balance your emotions using musical notes, radionics. It uses the same software as a lie detector to obtain accurate results, and everyone's scans are 100% customized to them individually, so that when you listen to your music that is sent, the music is the same for everyone, but the frequencies behind them are yours. So optimizing yourself. One of the things I love most about the inner voice, and first I'm just going to look at the left-hand side of this. This left-hand side is telling you what emotion is out, but these things here on the left are generic. They're the same for everyone. But the things underneath these categories are what came up in the scan. So this is where we really want to go to. So the emotion that came up here was fear versus confident. And we don't want to have too much fear or too much confidence. We want to be somewhere in the middle. So the emotions that came up for this person in this scan were fear, nervous exhaustion, and a life planning conflict. And then it gives potential causes and things that it found in the vital scan that can be causing this. But the thing that I love most about the inner voice reports is the imbalances and suggestion, because it gives us actual lifestyle changes that we can do to improve these things. Sorry, my dogs are fighting. So the inner voice there was one person who, using the scanner, took a group of 10 people and had them do the inner voice every day for 21 days. And these were the improvements they found in that 21 days, just by listening to those frequencies. Can you hang on just 1 second? All right. We got one of them. So, yeah, so I've been doing it quiet. I've been using the inner voice for over a year, and I have found that certain things that used to bother me immensely, I can talk about without that kind of emotional charge that things like that bring. Hang on one second. All right. There we go. Do apologize. I think I'm just going to have to let them go. So the vital scan is what we're going to concentrate on today on how to go over these reports. And gosh. So it scans the energetic state of the blood biology and also anything that's flowing in our bodies. So things that we would see in blood work or urine analysis is what we're going to see in the vitals report. It's going to be quite the recording here. So, yeah. I am so distracted. I apologize. So this is just one part of the vital scan. This one is concentrating on the liver and the detox pathways, which is very important. I got the aggressor. Feel much better now. He's not. Okay, we're gonna calm down. All right, and we're gonna get into this more because I'm gonna go. I don't want to spend too much time on this part of the presentation. So the comprehensive scan does get more into the solids in the body. So we're looking at muscles, bones, organs, and we can scan and optimize these too. That's what we like to see is the improvement just in one scan. So this was a comprehensive scan I did a few months ago on myself. I have chronic liver problems that I've been dealing with for quite some time due to, toxicities that I've had. I had amalgams for 20 years, and I do believe a lot of that settles in the liver. But one day I just really was not feeling good. And then this is what came up in my comprehensive scan. My liver was 81% from ideal. And just with one scan, I felt better after the scan, and it brought it just down to 38% from ideal. I did some other supplements that were suggested by the AO scanner, and then some other treatments. And you can see that the next scan later on in the day, I started out at 34% from ideal, and it brought it even better to 31% from ideal. So the best, we want to be as close to 0% from ideal as possible, but we definitely don't want to be close to 100% from ideal. So when we see something like that, we know we have some kind of thing that we need to work on. Body systems is one that's kind of underutilized, I think, because it's not done in the EZ scan, which does 3 of the scans. This is the one that kind of pulls it all together in the organs. So if we want to look at just one, not organs, in the systems. So if we want to look at just one system, we can, concentrate on it. If we know that what we have going on is mostly a nervous system disease or a nervous system problem, we can just look at that one system. If we know that our lymph is not moving well, we can just look at that one system. And the great thing about this, it's much like the inner voice scan, where it's going to give you the ways to improve. So things that you can do. And then it also gives you the things that could be causing it. Very similar layout to the inner voice scan, and easy to read rather than looking at charts and data, which a lot of people aren't into. So the AO scan results can refer to frequencies found in cellular memory, residual toxins, residual damage from prior exposure, residual inflammation, an actual occurrence, so something that's going on right now, can be the closest frequency to something that's not in the database. And it can be off-selling, so picking up the components from others. So it's important to clear and shield often, especially if you're scanning more than one person. I love the supplement library. It's one of my favorite things in the AO scan. You can put your own supplements in here. There's also frequencies that come with the scanner. So every day, morning, noon, and night, I do some kind of scan that gives me the supplements that I should take. Super great for knowing what your body needs. And a lot of times you can look at your scans and what it suggests is right in line with what's coming up in your scans. This quick scan is a great way to get your supplements when you only have 10 seconds. So if you only have 10 seconds to do a scan, you can look for what supplements you need. I do this at noontime just to get my supplements for that time of day. And then the Cephi. It's just Jessica Cevallos is the person that signed me up. I got this slide from her. So, but subtle energy frequency imprinter, and you can send a frequency to yourself for just about anything you find in the AO scan. I absolutely love making custom playlists and being able to send myself something that is made or send someone else something that is made specifically to their scans. This is Dr. William Pollack. He's famous for, he's really into the PEMF, but he's also used the AO scan, and this was something he said about the AO scan. Just being able, it's a fingerprint of the body, being able to see what's going on anatomically, physiologically, and metabolically using established resonance physics. Yeah, it's just, it's a great tool. This is how the subscription is $149 a month. There's 3 different ways you can do it. You can use your own phone. It loses a little bit of accuracy that way. And also when you're using your own phone, you're probably not going to have bone conducting headphones. So that's probably like the 10 to 15% accuracy is with the phone without the headphones. You might be able to get to less than that if you use bone conducting headphones. The best way I find is with the low EMF phone that comes from Solex. It does cost $495 one time for the phone. It comes with the bone conducting headphones. And then it's still $149 a month. And the tablet, some people like to be able to connect to Ethernet without using Wi-Fi. So the tablet can do that. It can also connect with Wi-Fi, but and some people just use it because they like the bigger screen. So there's reasons for anything. If you want to know more about it, get a free remote scan, you can text Tish, you can email me. Either one of us would be able to do a scan. And please, if you have questions, put them in the chat. And now I am going to share something brand new with all of you. And if you're not into numbers, you're going to hate this, but I hope you love it as much as I do. I'm going to take a look at questions too. So let's do that first. Let's just see what's in the chat. Thursday, Lisa says Thursday is the busiest day of the week, but I don't want to base the meetings around my, but yeah, Mondays is my day. Thursdays is pretty busy too, but they're all getting busy. Apologies, but this is an app that you download and subscribe to on the mobile phone. Yes, it is an app. The subscription is $149 a month. Can do it on your own mobile phone with no upfront cost. And then if you want to use the low EMF one, that's, like I said, $495 for the phone, $995 for the tablet. And yeah. So Kara says it's not loud at all. I can't even hear them. I'm assuming the dogs are barking. Yeah, they were running around fighting, but this one's the instigator, so I'm going to hold on to him. Kara said I'm very interested, but I think my learning curve will be steep. I need much support from you. I'm so willing to give support. So Kara, just let me know. David asked, what's my routine for scanning? I do the easy scan in the morning. And then I take whatever supplements it suggests. So there's always there's up to 6 top supplements. I've had some days where only 2 come up. So that's a good day because I only need 2 things, right? But most days it's 6. So I take my supplements and then I listen to my frequencies for between 3 and 10 minutes, depending on how much time I have for that. And that's it for my morning. So it takes a total of, 10, 15 minutes. In the at lunchtime, I do my frequencies just my supplements. So the quick scan, that takes 10 seconds, and then I take my supplements. And then at night I do the easy scan again. It's the way to get there, Matt, is you put it into a browser. It's app.aoscan.com. I don't think you can download it from an app store, but you have to have a subscription to be able to sign in. So once you put it into a browser, you can bring it onto the phone. First, before I do this, let me show you on here what the, so this is how you get to the app. So it's app.aoscan.com. Everybody can see my screen, I hope. Oh. Usually try and prep this up so I'm on here and not somebody else. So I'm just gonna put myself on here. And this is the vital scan. So this is everything it scans for without breaking things down. So we're looking at food sensitivities, blood, chakras, gastrointestinal function, meridians, nutritional analysis, physical functionality, and toxicities. Now the report, when we do food sensitivities, there's many, many things in food sensitivities. So we're still in food sensitivities, and now we're getting into blood. And the way this works, let me just make this a little bit smaller. So what's on the right is our scan, and then we optimize, and we want to see things getting better on the left. And that's how most things are. Now, this next part is really going to be for the people who have been using the AO scan. I want to show you a data analysis that someone who just started with the AO scan showed me he was doing. And I have now put this into a Google Docs sheet. If anybody would like me to share it with you after this, we can definitely do that. But this is taking all of the information that we get in that vitals and then putting it in a Google Docs and then giving it an if statement, which I'm just going to take this and reduce it so we can see more. I just want to hide these. It's not going to get rid of them, but where is my, there it is. All right, so you can see here that it's counting. I can change this number here, so I'm going to change it actually to 6. So it's counting anything now that has over, it's only counting the 9s and the 1s and the 8s and the 2s. So if something has more than 6, it counts it. I can change this to whatever I want. I think I found that the number that narrows it down enough. So now we're looking at very few things. See that there's a 13 there in lemon. So lemon comes up 13 times. Codfish comes up 13 times. But when we really get down, and now let's get out of these and go down into, so total protein comes up 13 times. This is someone who has ALS. I'm not, there's no name on here on purpose because we're just looking at the data. But total protein, I mean, protein folding is a huge thing in ALS, right? So we know that that's an issue. So we're still counting only things that are over 12. Cysteine comes up. So it's a really good way of narrowing down what is happening here. Myocardial oxygen consumption is another thing that is a big thing. So we know we need to get oxygen. Thyroid is something. So it's a way of taking the data over time and being able to just narrow it down to the things. We know that we can look up this phase 2 glutathione conjugation. Out of all of the detox pathways, that's the one that's out the most. But we have other things that are, so a detox sulfation, that's another one. Oxygen content, so that comes up again. So maybe some breathing exercises or some exercise with oxygen therapy would be good for this person. skin elasticity, skin grease. So these are all things with skin that are coming up. And this person does have some fungus on the skin. Yeah, so it's just a good way, and we can change this number to count whatever. So if you only had three aisles here, if you wanted to look at more things, we can just change it so we're looking at things that we don't have to go so far out. Then there's another way. So when we get down to the bottom here, remember how we said that there was a scan and then an optimization. So we're seeing here that these are the ones. So with one scan, we had 66 things that were ones. And then after the optimization, it brought all but 13 of them back. So we can make sure that this pattern is that we're going from higher to lower, because this same person had one day where this number was really low and this number was really high. And that means we're not aligned correctly. We can actually send frequencies to align ourselves again, and have things move in the right direction, so we can send the chakras frequencies. So hopefully that was helpful. If anybody would like this, either in a Google Sheet or in an Excel spreadsheet, I can send the blank, so that you can plug your own numbers in here and use the formulas that are in here to keep track of your own. I do have, and I have made this offer, if you're already using the AO scan and you want me to plug your numbers into this, and then we can do a Zoom together and go over the numbers. I had one person I did a Zoom with last week. Ghrelin is the hormone that tells us we're hungry, and his ghrelin was out and his hypothalamus was out. Ghrelin sends the signal to the hypothalamus to tell us we're hungry. So when both of them are out, do you think there might be a nerve in between there that is also inflamed and not sending the signal, and that we can get some of that inflammation down with frequencies? There's a lot of ways to send frequencies that will reduce inflammation and help those things. So we were able to look at a report and say, and here's what you need to do. And we can take another look at your report. So he still said he's very dedicated to sending me his reports every day. I love that. Yeah, I just keep them in a folder, and then we can just throw them in an Excel spreadsheet. I've asked some people to do that. They sent me one or two. It's really a lot better to have, the more we have, especially with this technology where we can count them and then narrow it down, the more we have, the more, the better off we are. Yeah, Lisa, I definitely will. Yeah, David, I would. I seriously, I would do it on anyone that wants to help. But yeah, I will send you the template. Matt said bone conducting headphones. Their best brand of headphones. And would you scan with your iPhone on airplane mode? I don't know if you can do a scan. You have to have the Wi-Fi for airplane mode. I know that it's an Android app. Some people have said that that it works better with Android. iPhones are so high in EMF. I don't know if I'd be doing my scanning on the iPhone. It might almost, but I mean, if you have to do it on the iPhone and you can plug in bone conducting headphones, that would bring the accuracy up. I don't know where mine are. They're usually right here. I probably scanned over in the living room, but they just go in front of your ears. So there's like a round dot. The ones that come with the phone are available through Solex, but I know, Matt, I don't think you're not in the United States. I think you're in the UK, so that might be an issue. Let's talk about what the UK has for bone conducting headphones. I believe any of them would work. Solex, of course, says that you have to use theirs. I'm not so sure that that would be true. You should be able to get a pair of bone conducting headphones and use them. So, yeah. And I don't think airplane mode would work. So you'd have to take it off airplane mode for the scans. David's got his hand up and he's really versed in EMF. So maybe this is helping us with this question. But that's all I have on that. And then we're going to call on David. Go ahead and unmute David if you can.
I wanted to ask, the comprehensive is a compilation of the inner voice and the vital scan put together and gives you additional information. Now, also when you do the, I believe it's the, not the quick scan, but the easy scan, it also gives you vitals and puts them together. Do you get as much, because with my daughter, we've been doing all three, inner voice, vitals, and then the comprehensive to get the best information. Can you get that same information just by doing an easy scan or not?
That's a great question. And it's one that I didn't know the answer to. So I asked it in the Solex Facebook group. And the answer I got was, when you do the easy scan, you're actually doing 4 scans because you're getting the inner voice, the vitals, the comprehensive, and the quick scan, because it gives you those supplements. And that's really what the quick scan does, is those supplements. So you're getting 4 scans with that one scan. But it's kind of like a short version of them. It's not the full scan. So when you do them separately, when you do the inner voice and then the vitals and then the comprehensive, you're getting more of a full scan, more of an accurate scan. You're right in that the comprehensive does pull from the vitals and the inner voice, but the comprehensive can also be done without those. So it's not, it's pulling what it should scan for from the vitals and the comprehensive, but it's a completely new scan. So when you do the easy scan, it does the inner voice, then it does the vitals, and then it decides what to do with the comprehensive. Let me just share my screen for a second and I'll show you. Because when we do them separately, we're going to find the right one. So when the easy scan does all an inner voice, vitals, comprehensive, and it also gives you the supplements from here. But when we go into the comprehensive, gives us 4 choices here. So we can do a comprehensive only based on the inner voice. We can do one based on the vitals, or we can do one based on both. And then we can do a comprehensive that isn't based on anything, that we just choose anything. So if I press combine, it's going to have pre-checked things. And what it's looking for is what it found out of balance in the inner voice, what it found out of balance in the vitals, and then it checks off what it wants to look for in this scan. So I can also go in here and say, oh, well, I like all those things, but I also want to see everything that my lymph is doing. So I can just click that off and it'll click. So you don't have to just keep it to what it chose. You can go in here and, because I always want to see what's going on with my brain and my head nerves. So I will usually, but when you're doing the easy scan, you can't make these customizations. So that's another advantage to doing them separately. Does that answer your question, David?
Yeah, that was great. And to also mention, Matt's question was not only the bone scanning headphones, but what about when you're replaying it? Have you found good headphones? Because sometimes I have found that with my, I have the tablet, I've found that sometimes I'm not getting playback in both ears, or that I have to jiggle around the thing. Are there better headphones that you found than others? Because I'm using just a iPhone headphone and it's okay, but is there something better for playback headphones? Would it be better to have the over-the-ear ones, or do you have any opinion on that?
So with the new update, this one that looks kind of like Starship Command, It's got a lot of moving parts. They say that the bone conducting headphones are the best ones to use with this updated inner voice. So when you're using the new one, the pulse tones, and that's what it defaults to when you're listening to the inner voice, it comes to this. Now, if you wanted to go back to the old one that looks more like this, more simple, and you just play the balancing harmonics here without any adjustments being able to be made, that one they say should be listened to with headphones. I'm going to go back to the pulse tones because this we can listen to for 3 minutes and get the same amount of healing that we used to have to listen for 12 minutes because they've updated it and improved it that much. We can also change the way the frequencies come across. So if we don't like the way it sounds with the frequencies, we can change them to a different shape frequency, to a different pulsed frequency, and we can listen to more or less octaves and change the music. So that's what all those things do. You can adjust the volume of the frequency and the volume of the music, but none of that has to be adjusted. You can just come here and choose how long you want to listen and then press the pulse cycle. And this one should be listened to with the bone conducting. So as long as you have those bone conducting, you don't have to switch. No need for headphones anymore.
So even with the quick scan and whatever you're doing, you don't need that. You don't have to change. Just keep the bone conducting headphones on and play back everything on that.
So I think you might be talking about, let's just do, I'm going to pick a few categories and do the 10-second quick scan. Are you talking about the small, like it says play audio, I think underneath. Let me, when we're done with here. So here, midday audio, this one here. Is that the one you were asking about headphones with? Yeah, that one I think is still headphones. So, but I'll tell you what, I come here, I don't ever do this. I mean, if you find benefit from it, that's great. I come here for my supplements. So I will put my water on top of my scanner. I will imprint my Arnica montana and my Zincum valerianum. And then I will take these other things. So it tells me that I need to do a nasal rinse with saline and iodine. And I need to take echinacea and I need to take Japanese knotweed, which has been coming up for a week consistently. So, and then cloves. So I'm, usually when I see something like that, things that come up in my mind is I have inflammation. I probably have something going on with parasites because of cloves. I've got something going on in my nasal cavity. So, from the supplement suggestions, what's happening. And yeah, I usually don't listen to this one. And that one comes up in the easy scan too. Pretty sure. I thought it was right here too. Yeah, so quick scan audio. So that's another thing that shows that it is doing the quick scan, but it's once in a while, I'll be listening to my inner voice up here and I'll play this one at the same time, just to see, but it's not something I use very often. It's maybe somebody else will convince me that it's something that I should use, but these 3 minutes, I really get a huge benefit from doing this morning and night.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. So we got Lisa, David, and who is this that said, I want the template to Momo. Cha-Cha. I think I would need your email, Momo Cha-Cha. So you can private message me that or send me an email at heatherplude@gmail.com if you want this template and I haven't gotten it to you. So Deb and Jamie said, would you be able to please forward? Oh, Deb and Jamie. All right. Yep. Anybody that wants it. Lisa said, I believe that being able to see the data from the scanner on a cumulative side-by-side basis will prove to be super, super helpful in helping us determine which areas need the most attention. I definitely, I mean, I love being able to look at things over time. And the other thing that the person who made this had done a cleanse, that Zen cleanse, Lisa, and he arranged his numbers so that he was looking at before and after the cleanse and able to actually analyze things that got better. And there were actually some things that elevated or got more out of balance after the scan. More things came back into balance, but it's a great way. And while I'm still sharing my screen, being able to look at these numbers down here and day to day seeing, okay, so this day I had 85 things that were ones, and ones mean diminishing function, and it's something chronic, right? So what was going on this day where my number was so high there, but these other days I'm down in the 60s. So, you know, it's a good day. It's a good way to see, you know, was it something I ate? My example is I ate pizza that day, because sometimes, you know, you go to a party and that's it. But I can really see a difference in my scans when I do something that's out of alignment with what I'm usually doing. So it's not to say never to do that, but to say it does take a toll on the body when we are doing things that aren't maybe in our regular healthy routine. Yes, Matt, I would not get the Bluetooth bone conducting headphones. No. There is a wired one that comes with either device. I would get a wired one if you're going to, I know you're in the UK, if you're going to get a bone conducting headphones, use wired. Definitely not. I don't like putting Bluetooth near my brain. Don't think anybody should. Deb and Jamie said, are you able to please go over the imprinting of the supplements? Yeah, super simple. I mean, here we are in the supplements. And so this is my easy scan, and it's not even this morning. It's, this is last night, I guess, but yeah, so all I do is put, this is not my scanner, but might as well be. I just would put a glass of water. I actually do a 32-ounce bottle now, and put the whole thing on there and just press imprint, and it goes into the water. And then I can fill my glass up throughout the day. I'm usually out by noon, and can do another scan and imprint some more water. So I'm drinking my remedies all day long. And that's, you know, I think the most important thing for supplements is when you add anyone, you have to go into the supplements and therapies and add these. These will all be, like when you press select all, they'll check them all. And then you go down to the bottom and add to client. Because if you don't add the supplements to the person, they aren't here. But these are the ones that come preloaded. These are the ones that are frequencies that we can put into our water. These ones under this category are all ones that I have physically added. So, and you add those here by just putting the plus thing, but this whole library also needs to be added to someone when you add a new person. So they don't automatically come with supplements. You have to come up here, go to supplements and therapies, and add the supplements. And you can physically add all of the supplements that you have in whatever dosage that you want. And you can put in more than one dose if you're not sure how much you should take of something. So it's a great way to narrow down what you should be taking. Hopefully that helped it, Deb and Jamie. Let me know if you have any other questions on that. Gotcha. Oh, okay. Let me write that down. Some reason Zoom doesn't let me copy out of the Zoom chat. I'm not sure why, but every time I try, I get an empty. So I have my notepad. David asked, what do you like to imprint into? I like to imprint into my water. And every 2 weeks I imprint into, let me stop share. This is one of the beaded bracelets. My husband has one of the Sibin rings. And I have the Sibin dog collars for my dogs. So those can hold the frequencies for up to 2 weeks. And jewelry, if you still wear jewelry, which I stopped wearing jewelry because at the recent muscle testing conference we had, my jewelry, even my rings were blocking a meridian, and I was unable to be tested because of them. So I haven't been wearing them since, but if you still wear jewelry, you can imprint jewelry. I don't consider this jewelry. It's not blocking anything because it's not metal. It's the metal. A lot of people wear necklaces and that blocks a lot of meridians. Not anything I knew until within this last year, something Dr. Cowden talks about often. And yeah, you could imprint Remag water. You can imprint food. I made the example yesterday. You could probably imprint a bologna sandwich if you wanted to, but it's not going to make it any better for you. All right. Does anybody else have any other questions? Does everybody have a thumbs up for today? Woohoo! All right. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me, heatherplude@gmail.com. I do these Zooms one-on-one with people all the time. So if you think that this isn't something that you can do because you need extra help, I will give you that extra help. I want everyone to be able to, I think it's one of the best tools I've ever found. And I shouldn't even say one of, it is the best tool I've ever found. I've done other energy testing, and we talked a little bit about the Zyto today. The Zyto is great. When I first started doing it, I would get these 27-page reports. And then the price started going up and the reports got shorter. They're never going to raise the subscription price of this, and they keep adding new things. So there are trainings where we can get more functionality out of it. We can actually drill down to what is going on what organ. So we can look at the liver and we can see what emotions, viruses, bacteria are actually on that one organ. And that's all happening in the background now. But as you do training, you can do that, but your subscription doesn't go up. So you pay one time for the training and you get more functionality out of AO Scanner. There's tons of things like that with this. It's a great tool. So I hope you start to use it if you're not using it already. And if you're using it already and you need help, reach out. And where do we find the recording of this Zoom? It's always on youtube.com /@HeatherPlude. I have a playlist for Solex, but I'm going to send out, it doesn't go straight there. I have to upload it. So I'll send out an email when it's up. But if you want to see the previous Zoom recordings, they're the ones that are over an hour long usually. And they're the ones, you'll see somebody that you recognize, probably me or whoever else is on the Zoom, whatever winds up being in the snapshot. But there's probably eight or nine of them up there now. I'll send out an email in a little bit though.
Do you have to have a password?
Nope. Putting them all on there with the, we are not medical professionals disclaimer, and hoping YouTube doesn't zap me.
And what was that website again?
YouTube?
Yeah.
YouTube, and then just put @HeatherPlude. You'll find me. You'll see there should be a playlist that says Heather's Solex, and there's other things on there. So there's people who have used this, there's doctors, there's things that I found interesting. So it's not just our private recordings. There's also a lot of things that you can look up on the AO scans, a lot of great videos there. Yeah, Lisa, I will send you the spreadsheet today. I have a list of 5 people that asked for the spreadsheet. So if you're not, Lisa, David, Amy, so Momo, Shasha, and I wrote down yours. Actually, it's only 4 people, and Deb and Jamie. So if you're not on that list, then send me an email asking for it. I will send the spreadsheet and a link to the blank one on Google Sheets if you'd rather use it that way. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.
Thank you.
You're welcome.